Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 383. Some more interesting UFO videos to look at. Unknown objects, not necessarily aliens. I'm searching. I'm loving. That we'll find out.
Let the fate control your body.
I'm searching, I'm loving, I'm finding
I'll be back. Did you miss me? No. Who would miss me? Anyway, looks like it went alright. You never know with Windows, as I keep saying, and the Men in Black, of course. May have caught him out this time because it's now just after 11 PM here in New Zealand. And I think it might be super early in America at the moment, is it? Let's have a look. I haven't checked the audio. Is it working alright? 1, 2, 3. Can't hear any clicking, so it must be alright. We'll just keep checking it. I don't trust it. Okay, what's the time zones out there at the moment? Here we go, Texas 4 AM. Oh, it'll be early rises there maybe. New York 5 AM. Arizona, they would have been just going to bed, unless you're an all-nighter gamer. UK early in the morning. Australia, it's just an early night for them at the moment. And Russia, afternoon. So yeah, we'll see how it goes this time. I'll just type up the welcome message. Of course, I'm more of a night owl because I've done shift work quite a lot of my life. Welcome to the channel live stream 383 UFO going against wind. So we'll have a see what we can suss it out. It's certainly unusual footage, but what is it is the question. And we'll see any other videos as well. Plus, we'll see how the time goes, plus other vids. That'll do. So, oh, what happened there? Something crazy happened. What's going on? Yeah, maybe it's there's a glitch in the matrix. Yeah, so first up is where I got left off last time. Lens flares. How to add optical lens flares to your edits. So already, as you know, a 3D reality is getting more realistic, and now you can use Adobe to edit photos and videos to create realistic scenes, right? Even though the lens flare might not be there. I suppose it makes it a bit more believable as well. If you make fake UFO videos, you now can add some lens flare onto it. So yeah, it's going to get harder and harder to detect CGI, of course. Yep. So why would you want to add it to a movie though? Maybe because you can't get it just right with normal lighting. I suppose you could add it on where they're going through a cave system and suddenly there's a bright light or something like that for a movie. So there's various lens flares. I suppose it could be used to enhance footage as well to make it more, you know, realistic. If it's shot in the studio, right, or whatever. So lens flares are all different types, all because we use glass for cameras, so the lenses and also the flat bits on the front of the cameras, and they all can create reflections and refractions and also bounce light back and forth between the lenses inside the camera. And normally there's multiple lenses inside cameras, including smartphones, and if you get a telephoto, even more. And the day when smartphones start having optical zooms will be interesting, but we're hoping that eventually glass won't be used. We've talked about meta materials, but there's also a thing called meta lenses that they're trying to work on, which actually uses titanium rods, of all things, to act like little mirrors at nano scale that reflects the light between each of the posts and then can be detected at different wavelengths and stuff. So yeah, and then you don't get the glass reflections like you do with lens flares. And you can see here they've got a dashboard which is quite complicated, where you want to add the lens flare, what type, and do it across the video. But the more interesting part I wanted to show was all the different types of lens flare, which I forgot to show last time. And they've got a nice little chart here of the ones they've got programmed. And you should probably know most of these now since you've been with me for many years. So you got an afterglow, I guess that's a reflection of glass. Aircraft lights. So you can even fake aircraft lights now with the software. Alien spotlight. Comet. Flash and rain. Flash and darkness. Discrete illumination. Discrete flicker. Okay, so that was some of the effects I got. Predefined, I guess. That was not what I was after. I was after the next chart. Got the wrong one. Okay, move up. Is that the one we're after? Nope, that's not it. It must be further up here. This is the one I'm after. Okay, these are all the different lens flares. Okay, so you probably heard about glow. That's where it creates like a blurry alta, which you get through atmospherics, through steam, stuff like that. You got the iris, which is actually that forms the shape of the actual internal shutter on the camera, which are often hexagons, 6-side blades that shut and close. Which you get on professional cameras. Nowadays, on smartphones, that they use electronic shutters, which makes a filter turn black in front of the sensor instead of having a physical closing mechanical shutter. You've heard the sounds chit 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 chit. That's the iris. So yeah, it sort of can reflect the light back and cast the shape of the iris onto the thing, which looks like a circle far away, but when it's amplified, you actually see the shape of the iris. What have we got here? A spike ball, which you can see around street lamps, especially if you got cataracts in the eye. You see light like that through the growth from the eye. And these ones we're sort of used to now. Multi-iris, so these are each of these are a reflection of the iris on all the lenses. Okay, so you see the shape throughout all the lenses. So it's sort of been, because they're different brightnesses, because the light's bouncing off each of the lenses at less less brightness. Got the shimmer, which looks a wee bit like the spike ball actually, but obviously the spikes are less prominent, more faded, going around the outside. Speckle, can't quite see that one. It's even dimmer. What's that one? Caustic. I think that's the ring one with the little cone shape that happens, and then that normally ends up at the end of one of these things here. The multi-iris effect normally is the last one in the list, but it can be depending how many telephoto, if you've got a telephoto or extender on, and you can get some extra ones in the middle. Glint, again, looks very similar to these other ones. Looks more brighter in the middle, doesn't it? And these ones are brighter with spikes, bright spikes going over the way. And this one's sort of dulled down. All these different names they have, and there's the ring by itself, the ring shape without the cone, which is very similar to that one up there. And then you got this one here, lens orbs, which is similar to seeing the iris. And then you got hoop, and then you got streak. And of course it depends how it reflects off the edge of the lens itself, and how bright the light is, angle, and all that sort of stuff. That's why they use covers on the front of the lenses to try and reduce some of the lens flare artifacts you get with bright lights like car headlights, lamps. But yeah, that's the last thing I forgot to mention before I closed off that last one on what was it now? That funny shape one where the guy was using his telescope. A MUFON case it was, a couple of live shows back now, I think it was. Anyway, I won't post a link to that. You can just look up lens flare and find it quite easily. What's that one? Might have to come back to that one. Is that the one? Oh no, that's the one with the UFO gang against the wind. That's right. Let's just so basically, this guy was on a hunting trip, and films a UFO. As you know, when you go hunting, you normally have the wind blowing against you rather than from behind you, so the animals don't smell you coming, right? And the UFO passes from behind, and hopefully we've got it queued up in the right place here. I'll go full screen, it's pretty small. We might have to do some zooms ins. I think I've got some snapshots already. Let me just check. Hunter, yep, I've got the Hunter one. Okay, so let's play it. We might have to play it a few times.
And moving fast against the wind.
Hang on, let's just check the volume levels. It's pretty loud, this one, isn't it?
Glistening in the sun, it kind of looked like it was made of aluminum, but
Here it is there.
it was trucking pretty fast.
What is that? I don't know what it is. I have no idea what that is, but it...
Okay, so you can see that it's quite windy there because you can hear it on the microphone off the camera.
It's freaky looking, whatever it is.
At first I thought maybe it was a balloon, but it was trucking against the wind. That definitely couldn't be the case. Eventually it was out of sight. So Cade needed to change his underwear, and I decided to go hunt bobcats with a guy named Jesse. Jesse is the world's #1 cat man. Or should I say?
So it looks like it's going to head over the mountain range here. Would you say that was a mountain? I guess it is a mountain. Rather than just a hill.
Cat dog man.
Folks, we're fixing to have a lot of fun.
Alright, so just go back here. So we won't need to hear what he's saying again, but he's saying it's going against the wind. And I might be able to explain that. Where's the start of that going? Out there, I think. Oh, I suppose we could just play it again.
Best I could tell, it was nearly a mile out and moving fast against the wind. Glistening in the sun, it kind of looked like it was made of aluminum, but it was trucking pretty fast.
What is that? I don't know what it is. I have no idea what that is, but it's freaky looking, whatever it is.
At first I thought maybe it was a balloon, but it was trucking against the wind. That definitely couldn't be the case. Eventually it was out of sight. So Cade needed to change his underwear, and I decided to go hunt bobcats with a guy named Jesse. Jesse is the world's #1 cat man. Or should I say, cat dog man.
Folks, we're fixing to have a lot of fun today, and speaking of which, here comes Jesse now.
Alright, so with the swing we've got a better look at it, of course. So yeah, we need to do slow motion of that and zoom in at the same time. So where does it start again? About here. I just want to pay attention to the terrain though.
Glistening in the sun.
Look how mountainous it is here, right? So that's going to muck around with the wind speeds and the wind direction. So whereabouts are they? In the valley there? I'm just trying to see, it looks quite like a steep thing here. Just trying to gauge, see that looks like a valley going down that way. between two mountains, and that changes a lot of the direction of the wind around mountains, as you know, and always at the top of the mountains is the fastest wind speed as well. But the wind would be coming this way, and that object was going that way. Okay. But it's a shame we haven't got a map on this, so I don't think he shows it overhead where they are, because that could help us out a lot to analyze this video, to rule out a balloon. Can't just take his word for it. But it looks quite high up here in the sky, and these look quite a big mountain range here. So where did the UFO come into it? Over this direction? Coming down here? Looks like it might be far away from how much they zoom in. So that's quite a fair distance away, isn't it? They've actually zoomed in as much as they can on their professional camera. So there, that looks like they're fairly close to a mountain edge. Then it progresses onwards. So we don't know where that mountain that was close to him was originally. Whether it's over here and they moved this direction, or is it behind them and this is another ridge further on. But yeah, okay, let's see if we can do a frame by frame here and try and suss out what this thing is. Okay, it kind of looks like a bright blob at that stage, with some black bit in between and then another little white blob there. Alright. Oh, where's it gone? I'll just step a frame. Okay. Looks like it's rotating. So you can actually see the pixels there. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, and the white bright bits 1, 2, 3, 4 down. But the whole object there seems like a white blob, a black bit, and another white blob. So let's just keep on going. Oh, something happened there. Looks like they're moving the camera. Definitely moving because you can see motion blur. Faster than the camera can, CMOS can process it. So it kind of looks like two bright white dots at the moment, with something black in the between. Is it going to rotate anymore? I think they might be zooming in closer now, is it? It looks like it's going out of focus. So it doesn't look like two white blobs anymore. It's got a little blob at the top and a big white blob down the side, and then a dark bit most of the body. certainly an unusual alien craft, if it's an alien craft. Doesn't look like it's a hot air balloon. Not traveling that speed anyway. Motion blur. Okay, are they getting closer to it now? Telephoto. This is always what we get though, isn't it, with UFO videos? Always spud cam, even though they got really high quality camera there. Now, looks like it may have rotated a wee bit. And now we've got the two white blobs either side of the black bits this time. It looks like it's rotating, but it's also moving the camera. Do you have any moving the camera? Gone off frame. Is he moving it around now? It's gone. Come on guys, get it in focus. Don't see it anywhere there. I'll just zoom out a wee bit. Just in case. Can't see it still. So obviously it's going to be a few seconds, is it? There it comes. No. He hasn't still got it in frame. Damn. It's off the top of the frame there. Go on, guys, get it in. He must have it on his body rather than on a tripod here. Out of focus there. What's going on? In focus. No, still haven't got it. Hey, he's rotating it. There we go. Coming back down. Okay, we've still got the two white bits. And a black blobby bit in the middle. Doesn't conform to any UFO craft that we know of. So what are we looking at? What do you reckon? Yeah, it looks like it's rotated a wee bit again. So the two even white blobs, the one at the top's got smaller and more of the white is shown now underneath. If only if they could get a closer look at it though, it would make the whole difference. It's not the worst image we've had, but still, it's not in focus ever. And that would make a difference. Yeah, so now we've got three white blobs. Now it's rotating again. Almost looks like jet engines, but it's not. Okay. He's going to lose it again. Now, where's he going to go now? Okay, here we go. Still got motion blur as he's panning it upwards. Come on, get it. Yeah. Now it looks like it's going to be more white. It's totally white there. So does that mean that it's reflecting more of the sun? Rotating again. Now we're going to lose it again, unfortunately. Come on, get it down. So it doesn't look like a single balloon. We can say that much. Now it's doing a panorama. Zooming around. Why, I don't know. Now he's pulling back again. No, what's that? Good filming. Okay, his partner. Do you see that? They're all up close. Out of focus. What's what? That's his mouth. So why is he zooming right into that? Where's the top of the frame? Still up the top. Yeah, his mouth. Why would you film that? Up? You'd be focusing on the UFO the whole time. Come on. Might be only a few seconds, but 3 seconds lost. Where it's closest as well. Come on. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all they got then. No, it must more than that, wasn't it? Let me just scroll up again. Oh no, he's panning back again. Okay, we see how far away it is now. That's a good zoom level on the camera. That's got to be the maximum range. Coming up. That's it. The maximum you get. Damn it! And now it's too small now. Now let me do my zoom. Okay, so can we suss out what it is? It's unusual where it went from 2 white blobs to a lot of blackness, and now it's gone to 3 white blobs and hardly any blackness. But to me, it looks like one side has more white in it, and one side has more black in it. With a blob of white the other side. Now it's definitely spinning around quite drastically there, but look how close to that mountain ridge where the fast airstream is. That would be mucking around with it, especially if it's some sort of balloon system. Is it a character balloon or is it a bunch of balloons? Certainly seems to have something really shiny there because it's hitting the sun that's behind them, reflecting off. So does that mean that's silver? Silver balloons with some black balloons. They seem to be very reflective. And if it was a UFO, it's certainly flying all around, upside down, vertical. And it's not doing anything crazy, like it's not sort of stopping. That would be really cool if we saw it stop and then suddenly go the opposite direction. Vertical would be really good. Zoom off vertical. Okay, looks like it's sort of stabilizing again. So there's the white side here, and it's very reflective. Is it white or is it just silver? And it's a bit hard to tell. Or a combination of white and silver. Because the other side's definitely black, and it's when it rotates around, it doesn't reflect. So we're rotating again. It's rotating all over the place, isn't it? Going up and then it comes back down. Then spins around. See, now it's on an angle again. I suppose they're going to lose it now. And it's rotating back around. Now it's going back up a wee bit. It's up and down, left and right spinning. But not completely round, you see. It's not spinning around 180 like 360, I mean. Yeah, it's on an angle again. See there, it kind of looks like a bunch of balloons, doesn't it? You can start to see little nodules. Now it's getting overexposed again as it's rotating, so we can't actually see any form. Now we've got the black side of it, with the white side, the other. And now it's spinning back again. A bunch of black and silver balloons. I suppose if they caught that in the Skinwalker Ranch TV series, that would be like big news, right? Can't say it's a jetpack, man. But definitely does have a black side there, doesn't it? Looks like it's got more stabilized again. He's rotating the camera. I think he's given up now. Yep. That's where the splice in the next scene. So yeah, I'm not too sure what we can do much with that one. It kind of looks like a character balloon, or that's out of focus, or a bunch of balloons that's out of focus. What do you think on that one? Anybody out there? Is it still working alright? Oh, is it crackling? But it is too. No one told. I thought we got rid of that problem. I just reset the mixer. So 40 minutes in. So how much crackle was there? I know I should have checked it sooner. Oh well. Now you see it's quite a mountainous. Is it still crackling? Hello? Oh, I don't trust it. Oh, we'll just try that again. You can see there's quite some high mountain ranges here. And you can see they're on top of a ridge here. So that looks like it's in a valley there. So we'd expect the wind direction to be a bit crazy. So yeah, it could easily be that's going opposite direction to where they are, because they're in another little area here. So it's like a, yeah, so let's see, let's draw up something here, see if we can understand what's going on, because that would explain why it could be balloons. So it looks to me like they're on a valley here, which goes upwards. And then there's another mountainous range where the balloon shows up, and in between is the valley there. Alright, so the balloon's travelling way off in the distance there from them. Let's see. That means, so they'd have a mountain range here. Let's look at it from the balloon aspect. So you've got a mountain range, and then you got the valley, and then they got their bit that they're up here. So they're up here somewhere. Let me see if I can draw that bit better. We'll just draw a peak. Although it's not that peaky. Then you got the valley, and then you got some sort of incline that goes up there. So let's see. The balloon. Or whatever it is. Bunch of balloons would be there. Traveling. And they're up here. Probably on, actually they're on the other side. Let me just do that again. I'll get it right in a minute. Yeah, we got the mountain. Well, actually, we just do it. I thought I changed the colour. Oh, that'll do. The mountain, the valley, and then they're up here, and then it just sort of goes down, the looks of it. Oh, yeah, that's better. Okay, so now we can change the colour. So they're seeing the balloon about here somewhere. How come it didn't change the colour? What the? It's not clicking. Okay, the balloon's there, and they're here. Well, looks of it with the camera. So generally what happens with wind can be complicated, but the wind generally goes up this way and circles around, and then goes up, then it can go around and then come back down again. It creates these circular wind thing around peaks, right? Now, so that could be what's happening here. So the wind would be going down the valley, coming this way maybe, which would be the same where they are. But what happens is it tends to funnel up and cause currents like that. Either side. Let's see, it would be around, go up, then come back down, then blow down the middle. These arrows are not really good. So that's on the rising current coming round this way, which would be behind the balloon, making it go higher, but also it's in another valley. There's another hill further up, isn't there? Like you can see, this goes right off, but there's another. Oh, I got filled by mistake. Where's the pen? In the distance is like another mountain range, isn't it? Like that. Something like that. So the wind's coming down that mountain range from the sea, maybe, I don't know. Coming down this way, then it's circling around here. And so if the wind's going against them, which they want from hunting, but this balloon's quite high up, where the air currents are circulating around like that, and pushing it along, because this other current coming the other way would also be doing that, where it goes down the mountain and then round. It's hard to do it 3D though, isn't it? Complicated stuff, wind, especially round valleys and mountains. It can change directions depending on how it's all shaped. And of course what happens is the rock acts as a heat source, right? So the hot currents go up. So it lifts the objects up, and then it changes direction and comes back down. So yeah, I've got some information to explain wind currents a wee bit better. So you can see here, here's that slope I was talking about. They're a wee bit below it here, and they see it traveling above this ridge line here, far away. So the current, air current could be coming around, going up and around in the middle of the valley there, and pushing it along this way. And on this side of the mountain, the wind's a different circular pattern, and it's pushing against them. If that makes any sense. If not, it will eventually as we progress, I think. So you can see they're on the mountain, and there's the other mountain off in the distance. You can see there's a valley going on there, and they're at the lower peak here. And then there's the valley that comes out to here, and then there's another mountain range that goes behind them. So it's like a mountain range, a valley, and then another mountain range which they're on here. Then a valley, then another mountain range. So it's the air currents are going to be all over the place. So do we grab some new images from this? We want one that's the closest that he gets. And that's the furthest. You can see on slow motion it was a lot easier in the super swing. So let's just grab that one and have a look at it fresh. I know this one would probably take up quite a lot of time to analyze it. So you often hear about these spheres being alien probes, right? But this ain't a sphere. Is it there? No. Why can't I see it? It's there. Should be in the crosshairs here, but it's not. Yeah, let's have a closer look in the editor. Fun, fun, fun. That's not the editor. But I think we got it. Yep, there it is. And if you just use Windows Viewer, it doesn't use the algorithm to zoom in pixels like the editor program does. And my magnifier also has the algorithm built in to zoom in but not actually lose quality as you zoom in. So resize. How's the audio? I just got to check again. Oh yeah, it sounds alright. Sometimes it goes wrong when you start playing other sound from other products. A bug in the mixer. And it's really annoying. No matter what I try to do to fix it, it always seems to come back intermittently. So there's the black backside that we saw, but we can't see the other white side. So what could possibly be it? We probably need to zoom in a bit more. Oh, what's happened there? Okay. Looks less blobby now, doesn't it? Looks like it's got a black bit that's going around that way. And there's a white bit there, and there's a white bit here, which is overexposed. Let's try the color swapper and get rid of the overexposure. Okay. See how bright that is. Notice once we get it underexposed, it kind of looks like it's a balloon shape, right? It looks like a balloon, a silver balloon, reflecting a lot of light there. Okay. Doesn't look like black balloons there though, does it? It kind of looks like almost like an arm. Looks like an arm going around something there. And the back of a character maybe. Some type of character balloon. With an arm. And maybe its head's going around that side. Okay. Definitely something going on three-dimensionally the other side. CPU. Let's just reset. So let's try something else. CPU kicked in. Does it look like black balloons? That'd be like 3 black balloons there. And that's a big white one, a silver one. It has got some reflection of some of the sun there. You see here the different shades of black are happening. So that be 1 balloon, 2 balloons, 3 balloons maybe. 1, 2, 3. Then there's a gap between. Then another bunch of silver balloons the other side. I suppose we're going to have to see here the reflection on that. Suggests it's round, doesn't it? It's not all black, you see. You see it gets the blackness is different here, and it sort of fades in 3-dimensionally. Look, looks like another one here. Still kind of look. That one definitely looks like a 3-dimensional reflection of a balloon now, doesn't it? There. Black balloon, black balloon. So original again. No, that could be a reflection of the other white. Let me just have a look again. Should have saved that one. Okay, I think we need some more images. Let's just cancel that. Let's sharpen that. It's out of focus, obviously. It's quite annoying. Now we sharpen it. Starting to look a wee bit more unusual, isn't it? Definitely that looks like a milder balloon reflection here, but what's this here? Is it a bunch of black balloons? That's what the sharpener can only tell us that much. Almost looks like it's round there now. Round one there. It's hard to know. I certainly wouldn't say it was a craft though. Okay, let's save that there. I can't see how that would be a drone or some sort of military probe. Maybe UFOs are clever and cloak themselves as a bunch of balloons. So you can never win anyway if you debunk it, because people just change the narrative, right, to suit. So let's see if we can grab another frame where it's sort of changed. So let's just frame by frame again. Now it's doing something different here now. It's rotated this direction. Okay, let's have a look at that. Yeah, if you think you can analyze this in 5 minutes, all the Ace channels that take a mickey, but when you want to do proper analysis, it takes hours. And then you might go back to it the next day and re-look at it again. So what I'd do is I'd rip all those as individual frames normally, using the command line, and then I'd make an animated GIF of the object, so you can see without having to step through it like this, see how it's spinning and slow it down, and that would take hours of work. So that would have to be done offline, off air sort of thing. But first we would have to try and cut that chunk of video out first, wouldn't we? And then rip the chunk of thing to PNG files, and then zoom and crop each of those frames, which looks like there might be at least a couple hundred, and then create an animated GIF of it, see how it's sort of stabilized and all that business, and rotating. So we want to look at the next frame, which was that one, was it? It's open new. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, it looks very similar to what we just looked at. So I got the wrong one. Let's just double check. Must have got the wrong one. Okay. So this one's changed a wee bit more, it's rotated around. So that looks like a load of white or silver balloons there. Let's zoom in more. Yep. What are we looking at? So we could do enhancing. Enhancing. Photo. Got the right one here. Oh, right, it's not in alphabetical, that's the problem. Photo. Sharpening plus. Okay, that's what we used on the first one. Yeah, it still kind of looks like a Milo balloon there. But this blackness here is still not very clear, is it? What the hell could it be? That kind of looks like a Milo balloon there. But not facing the sun as much, so it's not reflecting. But could it be a white balloon that's also very reflective? And it could be a character balloon still, you know. It could have a white bit on it, a white bit there. And this blackness here. Could it be some like blow up a character animal balloon, like panda? But I don't think this one is panda. What look at arm going this way now? Looks like it goes right around, right? Since it's rotated around. Let's see. Went there to there. Get rid of that one. This is how you do stabilized ones. Then you can join it all together and see what it's doing. That one's actually closer. Definitely rotate it. But what is it meant to be? Yeah, I start to think it's more like a character balloon now. Now what I mean by that is... let's find some black and white. So... black and white character balloon. Normally put helium in there. And it gets rid of all the other ones like these ones. Yeah, we need to put helium in. I've still got those ones. And it could be something like that. Like a wedding arch, right? That's black and white. Crazy colour balloons, right? There's one here, it's got black and white mix in it. If you had a chunk of that flying in the sky out of focus, could easily be a bunch of balloons, couldn't it? You see what I mean? Especially if they're coloured, and looks like they might even have a heart pattern on it. So, could we be looking at something like that? And looks like some of them might even be a bit silvery as well. Like there. Well, look, wedding balloons, right? So you got a real mixture of balloons there. White, clear, silver, and black. And what's it say? Latex ball. Could easily be that, couldn't it? Something like that mixed together. Here we go. All hanging on the roof here. You can even buy bunches of them. Look at that one. You can always buy a mixture as well. Does look quite like something like that, doesn't it? But then you got these ones here too, the big Star Wars heads. Let's have a look. Could that be a Star Wars head? A Darth Vader? You saw that floating past you, you probably go, wow. That must have cost someone to lose that. Oh, what happened there? I lost it. How much were they, did they say? In stock. They're not that dear actually. But then actually it is 30 pounds. So what's that? Double our money, that's 60 New Zealand dollars for a Star Wars balloon. And they look like mylar, and you can see how they're sort of sealed around the outside here. Okay. One Darth Vader and 2 Stormtroopers. So, because someone bought that for a Star Wars type wedding, where people are Star Wars fans and joined together and they just floated off. Could that be Stormtrooper as well as Darth Vader thing? You never know. Unless we get some better images. Okay. We did type black and white in, so let's get rid of black and white. And now it gets a bit more complicated. Now you got every character under the sun here. Mickey Mouse, monkeys, SpongeBob. But you can see they're all sorts of bright colours. Let's see. Dancing lady balloon. I typed that in, but I'll just show you the still, one of the stills I got, where I think it looked like a dancing lady. I just want to see if there's any such thing. Dancing lady. I wonder if it's into a balloon. Helium. The other one was rabbit. Black and white rabbit. Can't. What's that one? Yeah, it's all got ladies in it. I want a lady character balloon. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Let's see, rabbit. Oh, what happened there? Rabbit character balloon. But there's not enough black in that one. Could it be something crazy like that? Inflatable cartoon rabbit. Does it float upwards though? You can see some of them have got arms. Oh, well, let's just come back to that. So I'll show you the ones I did randomly another day and enhanced it. So there were the two images I did. First one is that one. And you can see how it's got a lot of white and black mixed all together there, which is like those bunch of balloons, right? But then again, it looks like it could be a head here. Arms with a white hand. Looks like it could be arms. It looks like a head with a hoodie almost. And it looks like two legs going down this way. Two limbs, and that's all black. And that looks like it could be a hand with the hand going around this way. Maybe I'll need to bring it into the editor to show you what I mean. So is it a bunch of balloons, or is it still a character balloon? And this one here, you can see the dancing lady I'm talking about. You got the black hair going down the back here, bunch of hair at the top here, the white face here, and it looks like a shirt coming down here to half a body, and it looks like the arm going out this way, and it's sort of holding something there. And could that be another could that be like a guy balloon behind here with the hair head and the black body, you know, the black tuxedo, and it's coming around here. His arms going down here, and could that be his hand down this way? So you see what I mean? It looks like a couple dancing. And that was spinning around in the sky, and you're seeing the black backside, and then you're seeing the white side. Thing is there any such balloon out there where you got two characters holding hands dancing? Or is it just pareidolia? Is it just a bunch of white and black balloons? Certainly doesn't look like any alien craft, does it? It's got to be the strangest spaceship ever, if that's the case, right? But also, I saw a rabbit in that one. Can anyone see the rabbit? So I have to see if I can see it with pareidolia. Where did I see the rabbit? Right, let's see. Yep, so what I saw was two black eyes up here. I think it was. Hang on, let me just see. Two black eyes and the head. That looked like a long ear coming down here. Was that what I saw? It's like one of those ink drawings where you stare at it, right, and you start to see things in it that you didn't see before. Is that where I saw the rabbit, though? Let's rotate it. See, less like to see a person there now, you see? Upside down. And this is what we're seeing in the video. It's rotating all over the place. It's probably just a bunch of balloons. Would be nice if it was a character balloon you can identify it though. Where did I see the rabbit? His arm, body, the ear going up, her head. I think that was it. The two cheeks or whatever. Could be a dog. Dog balloon. Looks like a dog head, like the long ear. The face coming around to the nose. It's just reflecting light off the cheeks. Some sort of crazy dog balloon, and that's paws coming around here. A paw coming around that way. Let's just put it into the editor and show you. But it's got to work from all different perspectives though, so so let's see if I can draw around it. So first up is the dog. So we've got the head coming around. Oh, why is it not working? Pen. Red. Is that going to show up? Looks like the head coming around. Maybe I need a bigger pin. Why is it not working? Maybe I need a bigger thickness. Ah, right, it's got selected area, is it? That's going to be too big now. So it looks like the head there, with a black ear coming down this way. It's really hard to draw and keep a steady hand. Looks like a black ear. Looks like the two eyes here. 1, 2. Looks like a cheek here. It's reflecting light. I just can't do it with the mouse. Pen, easy. Keep a steady hand. Okay, it looks like a cheek there. Almost looks like the dog's nose here. And its mouth going around there. Kind of looks like a head that way. And that looks like a paw. Oh. Paw coming out this way. And it looks like the body going around this way. And its back feet, whatever it is, coming up here. Like some sort of foot there. Are you with me now? So what's the rest of the stuff in the background though? That looks like the other paw coming around that way. And then that's the black body there. And then the other paw or foot going around that way. And what the hell is that in the background though? So that's the dog, or the rabbit, or whatever. If I get rid of that now. You might be able to see it better. Or it could be the dancing lady. That looks like her hair. Why is it not working now? It looks like a top of her head. Right, we're back to that again. Try again. And that looks like the top of the head, if I can get it right. Goes around to a bun, then the hair comes down her back to there. And that looks like maybe it's her face, or the head there. And she's in a dress coming down this way to half body. And it looks like her arm going out this way. And then her hand is here. You see what I mean? Pareidolia is really fun. And then that looks like it could be a guy next to her. Top of his head there. Could be his head there. But then that looks like it could be coming down like a tuxedo coming down this way. So what is that there? It'd have to be his arm or a hand down there, wouldn't it? Normally they'd be touching hands together. So I don't think it's a dancing lady, but that's what I saw. Okay. I still think it's going to be a bunch of black and white balloons. Or black, white and silver balloons. But if you bring in the other one I've done here and colorized it, it looks even more weird. Now, can't see the dancing lady now, can you? And I can't see a dog in that. But that was one of the first frames when he was focusing on it. But that kind of looks like it could be a leg going down to something here with a leg. Alright, like that. Some sort of character balloon with a foot. If I can draw properly without slipping, looks like another foot there. That's going across. Kind of looks like it could be a face. Well, that could be a hand in front of him. And it's coming up to a arm going off this way. And that could be another hand here. And then the rest of his body and hand here. That's sort of rotated around, and his eyes will probably be there. Some sort of crazy character balloon. So I don't know, still kind of looks like a bunch of balloons or a character balloon to me. So much for in focus picture of a UFO. Still looks like a dancing lady there. So where would the dancing lady there be though? And if that's the back of the character balloon, and that's head. How does that work? And this one here. And now there's some balloons here, but we can't quite see them. Or is that a character balloon? But again, that could be a head. And an arm. Could be like a character balloon there with something else hugging it. Like a bear or something around. Could be a dog, you know, it kind of looks like a dog. Looks like the arm going down. And that could be a dog, and could it be a black dog on top of a white dog? We'd have to rotate it. Rotate. Too much, Paul. Want to go 90. Okay. Could it be two dogs play fighting? Shape of two balloons. So that kind of looks like a dog head there, doesn't it? An arm going down this way. And the rest of its body going down the other side. That would explain why it's black and white. And this could be on top of a something, whatever it is. It's on top of something here, which you're not quite seeing. Could it be a person or a dog? What kind of character balloon would that be, though? A dog on top of a person. Yeah, let's just try that. Balloon dog. Dogs. Dog. Just try dog. Okay. Now there's some strange looking dogs. So yeah. So we got two watching. Okay. Okay, is there any black and white German type shepherd dog on top of something? What was the other one? It looked like a rabbit, didn't it? Have I still got that one? Oh no, that one looked like a dog as well, long ears, didn't it? Could be dog. Dogs are obviously popular for balloons, right? Could it be something crazy like this though, spinning around? Could it be two of them joined together? That would explain the big white bits and the black bits, right? Walking beagle dog balloon, helium. I don't think it actually walks though. I was hoping to get some more angles of it. Seems to be promoting that one mostly. So could it be one of those and one of these other stupid looking dogs? Not that one. Where has it gone? That one there, that's all black, like a doxy. We won't know because we haven't got any in focus shots of it. So it could be two character balloons joined together. Definitely looked like it had a long ear though. Must be more than that. Long ear. That's not a long ear. Poor dog. Okay. No. It's not giving us all the different balloons as it used to. Why? I'll just get rid of helium. Yeah, it's bringing up all sorts of dogs. No, I don't think we're going to solve it. I think the best option for that one is a bunch of black and white balloons with maybe some silver ones added in. See there, it's rotated right around. Just want to get maybe someone where it's all white. Yeah, it was about here somewhere. Do any rotating? Then it's flipping backwards. Oh, there we go. Let's get that one. Let's have a look at that one. That's different. Still does look like one side's more black and the other side's more white. But then again, a character balloon could be like that, and also black and white balloons mixed together. So we're still none closer to solving it. But we probably can say that it's not I just saw something else in this one here. Let me just have a look. You can see there's the black side and that's the white side, so it still could be a character balloon, right? But here kind of looks like it's out of focus raccoon head, or see there, it looks like a tongue hanging out, black nose, a white snout, but and it looks like it could have some eyes here, and that looks like 2 ears. Kind of almost looks like a dog head, raccoon head as well. You see that? So we've gone from lady to a dog with a paws to actually a dog head, almost like a husky even. Looks like the nose there and the mouth going around here. Could be a husky head and spinning around. Mind you, that doesn't look like a husky head. Can't see how that would be a husky head. Yeah, we're not going to get any solution to what it is, but other than some type of balloons. Download. Okay, let's have a look at this last frame. And you can see it still looks like it could be a character balloon already, or a bunch of white balloons that side, and the other side is all black balloons. Yeah, let's zoom in closer again. damn it. Does it look like a dog's head this time? Could it be a dog head? I suppose it could be, still. But that kind of looks like 4 limbs, 3 limbs at least, coming down, and the head could be the other side. That could be the body, a white body, black and white head. Still could be a dog, you know, dog character balloon. Now let's put it through a sharpener. See, there it looks definitely more white balloons rather than reflective silver one. And that's enhanced. Again, it does look like round business bits happening. So that looks like a round white balloon there. White round balloon, white round balloon. Black one behind it, white round one, white round one. Looks like another round balloon, looks like another, I reckon it's a bunch of balloons. The sharpener seems to suggest it. So it looks like a balloon there. A balloon there. A balloon there. Although I'm off course a bit in that one. Kind of looks like it could be a balloon there. Balloon there. Oh, way off course. Could be a balloon. Another bunch of balloon behind. Although it's off course again. Of course we can't see the edges because it's all sort of blended together. But we can start to see there is some curvature going on here. Look, there. Curvature there. Curvature there. And then we got the black balloons behind, which kind of look round shaped too, don't they? Looks like there's one that way. Yeah, there. Although I'm off course a wee bit again. But you can see what I'm talking about now. It's got to be a bunch of black and white balloons. Probably from a wedding. Now that's what I'm sticking with. Anyway, it was fun. It was fun looking at it. Would have been good if we could have solved it. But you can see if that was just in focus, it would be solved instantly, you know. Actually, I might just resize that one. Run it through filter. Where's it gone? Brightness. Okay, now we can start to see the balloons, right? I had it perfect then. Right, you can start to see the balloons all packed together. But we can see the pixelization and the reflections, right? You can see it's almost curvature there with the reflections being 3D almost. And that was the brightness turned right down. And see how it fades. So that's the brightest bit there, obviously. If we color swap it, where we can change some whites to different color shades. Maybe it'll pop out, I don't know. It's not sort of coming together. So some of the whites are turning into blue there. No, it's got to be balloons, isn't it, eh? I think that last one there sort of nails it down. And there's a load of black balloons the other side, with some white balloons poking through. That's what it is, and it's sort of spinning around. Which is what I said from the very beginning, that it was a bunch of black and white balloons. But yeah, you just don't know until you really look at different frames and all that. Yeah, it's out of focus there. It would be good to see if it was a silver craft now, wouldn't it? You know, the old classic Mexican hat. That would have been just awesome footage. That would be like the smoking gun. But we ain't gonna get it. You can sort of see some black balloons popping through there. From behind. Anyway. So I'll just talk about these wind, why it could travel against the wind. So it doesn't rule out it being balloon, right? That'll do. Here we go for time. Let's not be scared off the other person. Just keep copies of those. So I'll give a link to it here, so you can have a look on your own screens. UAP, floating, well, moving against the wind. Now, if that was on Thirdphase on the moon, I don't think they would have covered it like I just did. Okay. And they would turn it definitely into a UFO. Hey, it's moving against the wind, and they wouldn't explain if it's possible in nature to look like it's going against the wind. So I did some research, obviously. Just minimize that back down. How's the audio sounding? Does the direction of the wind change at different heights? That's what I searched, and that's what I got in. And let's see what the experts are. National Weather Service. What's he got to say? In a barocclinic environment, the direction of wind changes with height. There you go. Okay, so we could see it was quite high up with the mountain edge there. It's known as the thermal wind, which you get around mountains. As you know, that as you fly over mountains, it gets a bumpy ride, because you got the circling vortexes and air pockets and all that sort of stuff. It's really describing wind shear, which again is what planes suffer as well, and change in the geostropic wind direction with height. Cold air A vitrin is occurring when the wind direction turns counterclockwise, back-in with height. A back-in wind profile is associated with subsidence and settled weather. Warm air eviction is occurring when the wind direction turns clockwise, varying with height. Okay, so that's what one guy said. They certainly may. Here are a few examples. You may see a sea breeze at ground level that gradually changes direction as you ascend. The land breeze may have a similar effect. So I don't know if they're near the sea there with the mountains, but it's possible. Looks more inland though. The surface wind blows across the isobars outwards from the center of a high, gradually changing gradient wind parallel to the isobars. Okay, let's get a bit more technical there. And here we go, we've got some guy with a chart. Sure, you ever watch a satellite launch, you will see rocket goes up in a smooth arc, but 10 minutes later the smoke trail, it looks like a drunken sailor, so it goes all over the place. What's he got here? Altitude. And what's that say? Altitude 75 something rather. Can't quite read it. March, April. Not too sure how to read this. West, north. What's that trying to say here? Northwest. Or was that east? Oh, that's east. East. East-west. East-west. So the wind's going west, then it changes to east. That's what it's saying. Then going west again. Then it goes east again. Then it starts going west again. And it changes with height. So what's that? So kilometers. So it's a wee bit too high for us, but yeah, it looks like it does go up to 75 kilometers. Okay, but that's not really what we want to know. We want more at sea level with mountain ranges, which would be up to 1,000 feet or so, 2,000 feet. So it's below this graph. So let's have a look here. Yes, there are giant convection cells that rotate vertically. Okay. Causing prevailing winds direction near the ground and the opposite direction at high altitude. Okay, so it's trying to look like a 3D model here. So it's saying the air currents cold. Yeah, it looks kind of confusing. Cold air goes down and hot air rises. Yeah, different locations on the globe, depending how high you are. So it looks like it's not exactly going in the opposite direction though. It's going around in circles. So if you're standing there, the wind's coming that direction. But if you go up high, the wind's going in the opposite direction. So that doesn't work with the balloon one in this case, because they were standing there with the wind behind them, and the balloon wasn't going towards them. Was it? The wind was coming in front of them, I mean. So that means they've got to be there. Oh yes, it does actually work. So they were standing there with the wind coming in front of them, but the balloon was at high altitude and it was going in the opposite direction. There you go, look. So if you draw a man there on what is it, America or Africa there, the wind's going into their faces, but further up, a couple of thousand feet, the wind's going in the opposite direction because of the circular heat convection business going on. Okay, so let's just move on from there. What does it mean if the wind blows one way and the clouds move in the opposite direction? There's one post to answer. Yeah, the winds of one level are not always an indication of winds at another level. Winds normally change direction at least a little because of the effects of friction or near the surface. The effect decreases with height, friction forces. So everyone is sort of agreeing here. There are two main effects that determine wind direction. One effect is the fact that any object, including a block of air around which one chooses to imagine, with higher pressure, which again you get on mountains, push against it on the other side, will accelerate towards lower pressure. The other effect is more subtle. It's the fact that the Earth is rotating, and we know that any object moves in a straight line if no force is acting on it. However, the Earth is rotating, so the object moves in a straight line above Earth's surface. Does the wind change direction in different regions? Yes. Yeah, so I got that information there. I think I got something better still. So we just looked at something similar to that there. Flight environment, hemispheric prevailing winds. And you can see that people spend a lot of time studying this sort of stuff. 3 cell, surface pressure, surface winds, altitudes, and we got low, high pressures. Okay, here's the ones with the mountains, which is quite interesting. Mountain winds, hills and valleys, which is what we were looking at in that video, distort the airflow associated with the prevailing pressure gradient. Strong up and down drafts and eddies develop as the air flows up the hills, and direction changes as the air flows around the hills. Sometimes lines of hills and mountain ranges, which we saw in that video, will act as a barrier, holding back the wind and deflecting it so it flows parallel to the range, which is what we saw, wasn't it? If there is a pass in the mountain range, which there was, the wind will rush through the pass as through a tunnel. Yep, so we saw that. The airflow can be expected to remain turbulent, erratic for some distance as it flows, so which we saw with the spinning of the balloons, right? So definitely it was rotating around, the winds were rotating it around. And here it goes, got warm air going up, and we've got cool coming down. So, and what's that trying to tell us? So if you're in a valley, And you got warmer air that's going behind you upwards the mountain, and you got the cooler air coming down the mountain at night time. Daytime, nighttime. So it was in daytime. Let's keep on going. And here we go. We've got some pictures showing how the air currents can happen with that particular peakiness. So here's the valley here with the hot air going upwards. So it goes up the mountain, and then it can sort of do all this business, go around in circles, which is what we saw in the video, wasn't it, with the balloon constantly rotating as it was going along. So it's pushing it along because of the vortexes, maybe. Anyway, let's just keep on going. And it's getting more complicated now. And there's the rotating winds. Go in one direction, but it also can change direction all of a sudden, go back around again. And then we got the airports where the winds are going all around the place there, around the buildings. Small shear, turbulent shear. That one looks pretty bad for flying in. What else we got here? We've got the hot air rising, cool air dropping, and that's why the plane can get a bumpy ride. Landing. Storm cells. There's the rotating winds. Yeah, I thought I had some other better pictures than that. I'll do another search. What was that one? Alright, that was quite interesting here. How loon balloons find their way to deliver the internet. Now, if they were sort of blown in one direction all the time, or you want to have them in a certain area all the time, how would you keep it in the same area above a city? So I'll read that article out. Let's just have a quick look at valley winds again, see if I can get a better picture. Actually, I should say wind direction, but let's have a look at these ones, which is what I was saying about the cool air coming down in the valley and the hot air going up in the daytime, and at night time it switches around. So that's why it can get hot in the day and really cool at night as the mountain air comes down. So that was like what they were in, but maybe that peak this side wasn't so high on the right hand side. And you can see that they're on the other side of that peak there, which would have the winds coming towards them. Yet we're seeing the balloon go upwards and along. That sort of explains it there. We've got some more complex ones here with the circling winds. Land breeze. And if it's near the sea, it's different again. Now let's say direction. Direction. See, we have to be experts on the weather and everything when you want to be a computer person. I mean, a UFO person. Yeah, that one's quite complex. I have seen better pictures than this. It's funny how when I research I can't find ones I'm after. Let's try Mountain Valley then. That one we saw. So there you go, you got the air current going down the valley and up and over the mountain. But that's going the same way. There's another one. Right, so then you get up to a certain height and the wind starts changing direction there. And there. Goes up, around. But they're on the other side here of the valley looking across. And there's that circular pattern happening between two ridges. And then you got the sea breeze. Comes off the sea and the hot air from the land rises. And more complex winds. So you can see here, they're saying it's opposite here. So the wind is going this direction, then it changes, comes the other way. So it's going up the mountain behind you, but down in the valley it's going in front of you. So that's like the balloons then. The balloons that we saw in that video. The hunters are like down in another valley over here. Maybe not that side, but over here. The wind's coming towards them. But they're seeing the balloon go that direction. The only way to do that was probably to replicate it, right? Throw up a balloon, see what happens with it. But unfortunately we can't do that because we don't know where they were and they didn't replicate it for us. Anyway, enough on that one, but here, this article here is quite interesting. How loon balloons find their way. Computer programs can direct Alphabet's high altitude balloons to track against the wind. Here you go. And move in figure 8, so that keep them in the same location, right? So these are big 2-story high balloons. But how do they raise it up and down without losing gas, is my question. Does it have like a tank on it where it sort of releases more helium into the balloon? And then it releases some? Goes liquid to gas. I don't know. I don't know how they would control that. So what they're saying here. Watching a balloon zigzag instead of sig Okay. And charger balloons flying about 60,000 feet, so that's a lot higher than what's in that video. To provide coverage over an area, Loon runs packs of 5 to 10 balloons together. They can provide an aerial mesh network. More users require more balloons, with backup balloons waiting nearby, ready to hop up. Loon is testing over western Peru. What happened to it? Just lost my place now. Where did it go? Technical difficulties like dime batteries, but more often not, it's the wind that is the culprit, simply blowing a balloon out of its service area. Okay. To do that, what's that? Staying put to simply put the task for a gas bag that the size of a tennis court and has no way to resist the wind. Loon's balloon navigate by moving up and down, looking for the air currents. There we go. That will take them where they need to be. To do that, they are not hand flown or manually directed by human beings. Instead, they follow complex algorithms where is it? That Chandindo's team have spent years honing a computer-born approach to the world that produces flight paths that seem anything but elementary. The problem with this sort of navigation is the wind currents are shifty things. Riding them through the sky is like using a road network where streets change their directions, number of lanes and speed limits, or even disappear altogether. What's more, the global models of wind speeds and directions built by National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and its European equivalent using disposable weather balloons carrying radio sondes. How do you say that word? Yeah, it's not going to let me read it. That's alright. That's a quick thing. Probably explains what they are. I'll just open it up. Radio sondes. How do you say that? Sondes. Radio sondes. How do you say that stupid word?
Radio sons.
Radio sons? Sons. That's a strange word. Okay, so that's one of them. A little box. So where do we get to? Leave much room for error. If you're watching a balloon fly west when its target is to the east, you would probably think that it was broken or that the algorithm directing it was faulty. But over the past 6 years, during which Loon balloons have logged a collective 1 million hours of flight time, Candidios has learned not to judge so quickly. Okay, so we've got a map here of where the balloon travelled. So it looks like it come around here, then changed direction, Went up that valley there, or over that valley, and then started zigzagging. Changed direction again, went over this way, and then got to the coast. Started heading along it. But how are you going to get it back to where it started? Down here. Okay, by tuning through years of measurements and latest weather reports, including data from the 50 or so loon balloons, has given the team's model has developed its own paths. So rather than assuming an itinerant balloon is broken or malfunctioning, watches and waits. Much of the time, hours and days later, he finds that the balloon has found an unexpected but efficient path through the sky. The floaters tack against headwinds like skilled sailors. Okay, so if the wind's coming towards it, then the balloon's got to go lower, as we saw in those charts, to be able to pick up the wind going the opposite direction, at a lower altitude, or a layer of atmosphere. And then if it goes too far that way, then it's got to go back up again, pick up the air currents going back the other way, so then it comes back the other way at a higher altitude. Then it's got to come down again. So if it goes around on those circular orbits, right, it should be, if you put enough balloons up there, they should be orbiting around like a train station in the sky. That's what it's saying, I think. Have we got any pictures? What's that one saying? What's it say there? A flight pass of 2 balloons over Puerto Rico. The white balloon went far to the south to hook up with a wind that would bring it back, which is basically what I was saying. So it went around there, I guess. Goes around in circles. And that one sort of went around in circles. And did a few loops. Anyway, that was quite interesting. I suppose because they've been collecting more data, they understand more of the wind currents over a particular region, you know, the mountains, and because all that would change it, you know, the heat patterns and stuff. So it's actually quite complex. I'll just post that article there. Wind directions. So I was actually going to do some more, but that took a lot longer to go over, like it always does. Yeah. I suppose Thirdphase can wait though. But they did put out some garbage already, haven't they? Let's see, whereabouts were they? Let's just have a quick look. But they might need some deeper looking at. So we looked at that one last because that's got the line underneath it. And we've got this one here. Won't play the sound. And we'll just see what we're going to look at next time. So someone's filming the International Space Station, obviously. There's a dot in the sky. And obviously they looked up on some tracking software for satellites and all that. But there's meant to be something else there, alright? Looks like there's something moving here. Looks like another satellite passing. Or plane. We don't know. They haven't labelled that one. I don't know if you can see it on your screens, but it looks like it's disappeared now. There it is there. Look, it's moving left to right. There it is. Something else going across there, these circled. Do they zoom in on it? There we go. Okay, so what's red lights normally? It looks like we've got a red light in the middle. And we got two bright white lights on the outside. To me, that's a plane. And of course, he's used the tracking software for space things. But where's the plane elimination software? So they've only done one side of it. So which way is it flying? Kind of looks like a red light and two white lights there.
Let's just stipulate that it was the ISS and it's not a mistake and he was shooting the ISS. And what you see, it's really faint, but what you see is an orange dot or an orange blob.
It's actually red, mate. Colorblind.
Traveling from the 6 o'clock position underneath where the ISS is to...
That looks like a jumbo jet that's closer, and we're seeing it from underneath.
Basically the 10 o'clock...
I think I can see a white light there.
Position on the upper...
Yeah, it's on a tilt.
Left-hand corner. And you can see it moving in a...
I think it might be coming towards us, actually.
Fairly straight line. When it's in hand, the individual...
The plane's coming up like this from an airport on an angle. And we're seeing a white light, red light, which is probably the collision avoidance.
Actually thought it was a lens flare, but there was no way.
I think it's blinking because you saw it got brighter there for a few pixels.
This was a lens flare.
There you go, it's turned off now, the red light. So we've got a plane flying up across the screen this direction.
You see the object moving fairly consistent.
So that's wingtip light, and collision avoidance light there.
At a consistent rate of speed.
And when that goes out, collision avoidance light, we now see the tail light. I think it is.
In a straight line. It doesn't look like an artifact. In fact, it's not an artifact.
This guy's going to be a software scientist. Well, that doesn't mean shit. I'm a software scientist too. I can write software. I'm a computer scientist, so I don't know what he's meant to be, but obviously he hasn't got a clue about camera. He's not studied camera technology and the apps. So I don't know.
It's a live vehicle that's up there.
Yeah, it's called it's called a jumbo jet, mate.
Database of launches for the world, and on January 19th at approximately the same time period, a couple of hours earlier, China launched a communication satellite.
That's not...
I have no way of tracking the communication satellite. I don't know where it is, but there was a launch around an hour earlier of a Chinese communication satellite.
I don't think it's a rocket launch. I reckon it's just a jumbo jet plus in front. But anyway, have we got a date and time on that one so we can actually look at it properly with applications?
The altitude way too.
So it looks like a plane coming up this way and going to fly over us, coming up this way. So if we can get the picture that I'm talking about. Well, I said I wasn't going to work on this one, but I guess we might as well solve it, sort of. Jet passenger. Looks like it's banking a wee bit. Banking, let's see. Images. Banking, I wonder, not abandoned. And here we go. So I think it's something like that with the wingtip lights here and here. Where we got the close-up. So if you overlay that plane on that angle, just imagine there's a tail light there, which we don't see, but there's a collision avoidance here, and there's a light where that just before the engine there on the inside and just in there. And that's not the best picture
settings,
there.
I don't know, but it's unique, I have to admit.
He don't know. He doesn't know, guys. So yeah, definitely a plane. And of course they have other lights on there too, which
maybe because of the camera or the camera and the camera settings, I don't know, but it's,
you can see the light there is pulsing, the red light pulsing. That's to the wingtip lights. That's the plane coming up like that on that picture there. Do I really need to overlay it in the editor to show what I mean? Expand it out and where the lights actually line up. I don't think I really need to, do I? I think people could see that's going to be a passenger jet. It's a shame I haven't got a little cursor that can change, you know, just overlay it in the picture just to show how the plane's flying. But it's flying on a bank like that. And probably going to level off at some stage.
it's unique, I have to admit. I don't know anybody else who could figure it out. Everybody comes up with
just talk to the Out There channel, mate, and they'll tell
the
you.
same conclusion. Most likely it's a plane. I'm like, where are the wings? Where's the flashing lights? So
And you can see the flashing lights. It dims and grows bright again.
by the process of elimination, I just have more questions. And hopefully the other folks here on the panel can figure out what it is. I don't think they know.
I think it's
But
going to. It was just about to level off there in that picture. It was actually turning, wasn't it?
That's what we're here for. We're just asking questions and trying to figure stuff out. Because if you eliminate all that stuff, all the questions you have, and
So if they've got the date, time, and all that, these so-called Dream Team experts, they should be able to nail it. They should be able to put it in the flight software because they know where the guy's looking in the sky, which direction, what angle, and should be able to nail it with the flight radar. Unless it's a military jet where they've got it turned off, the call sign, because as you know, the call sign is from a transponder radio and not from radar. And then you'd have to try and get hold of the air traffic control radar system to see if there was a plane there, if there's no call sign. But that's harder to get. You'd have to get freedom of information, I guess. But anyway.
you're left with this object that doesn't look like anything else. It's unidentified.
It's a
Interesting
plane.
thoughts there, Rich. Appreciate your insight on this. Now let's being allowed to be captured by civilians.
This guy wouldn't have a clue.
Seen so far, the fact that the three lights,
3 lights, yes.
I mean, the middle light could be the headlamp, let's say, and the top and the bottom could be the wings. But that's flying sideways.
Yes.
So
well, on bank
that's
then.
what has just really caught me off guard. Are we not seeing the exact opposite on the other side? I don't know, because you can't.
He sort of, I don't know. He knows it's a plane. Come on, it's banking, and it's as it's coming up, and then it's going to level off.
I can't personally see a physical structure.
So it may not be a passenger jet. It could be a military plane banking like that, but it's obviously some plane.
Sure.
Anyway, we're done with that one, as far as I'm concerned. Normally I'd overlay the images and show you how it works with the lights. And what was the last one here? I suppose we might as well just finish before 3 hours and get this out of the way with for another day or two. What do we got here?
This isn't no FAA regulated lights. What is this object?
Okay, I saw it looks like a blimp shape before.
It's pretty bright. It's lit up, obviously. We don't see any kind of
we've got a pattern. That's because it's passing behind a tree.
structure.
Yep, that's the branches.
Other than just
Okay.
this
That looks like a
huge
blimp.
orb of light in a way that
If they can keep the camera still.
Then again, and this is coming into my mind that it almost looks like a military blimp or some kind of
Yes, it could be one of those radar blimps, but I don't think so. It's more likely to be an advertising blimp.
experimental aircraft and
Or it could be a remote control blimp.
I'm not exactly sure, but in my opinion, this is probably what we're looking at. But again, it has these weird anomalies. It does have this one blinking light underneath, but usually blimps have more.
I haven't got it really loud there, have I?
On the tail itself and underneath, and we're not seeing any kind of lights on the tail of this.
I can see a blinking light, which
as well. We're not seeing a cabin underneath this formation,
which is clearly
object, whatever
advertising balloon, or here we go. There's a blinking light.
He's never seen anything like this in that area. So again, it's interesting to say.
I don't think it's the Goodyear blimp. But they would have a blinking light where the cabin is.
As well as if this was advertising for some kind of location on the ground, it would be remaining stationary to get everybody's attention to head over to that location. This is drifting, and in my opinion, when you have these kind of advertisements, these displays, it's over some kind
I
of.
reckon it's one of those little. What's the location? Does it say? Buckle up, everybody. I think the video I showed just before with it going against the wind was way better than anything they've shown so far. Let's see. I think it could be advertising blimp. They're quite big. Advertising blimp. Don't know what the location is. Though. So it could be something like this one here that's white. There's one here, look, that's blue one. But it could have a cabin underneath with a blinking light where they just fly around. Advertising blimps, there you go. So what they do they change the side of the blimps? But it looks like they do, don't they? Looks like they put a covering on or some sort. There's another one, cabin. So it's not a Goodyear one, but it could be any of these other ones, depending on what the location is. Blinking lights down here. It sort of matches up to one of these ones. It's flying around in a circle. Because it's out of focus and overexposed, we can't see any writing on it. That's what the problem is. But it could be one of these toy blimps. See, which I don't think so because it looks kind of big. But these are quite big too, but not like that size. RC blimp. I typed it in right. Remote control blimp. Okay, they're quite big still, and you can fly them around. 16-foot RC Zeppelin outdoor. Here we go. That's fairly big. Not as big as the big advertising ones, but still quite a big balloon. Let's see if I can get a picture of it. There we go. Only $4,000. Why would you want one of those to fly around your backyard? Advertising BLIMP. There you go. So it must have an array of LEDs on it that you can light up to put printing on it. In stock. These are amazing. I wonder if they got the video of one working with the printing on the side. So I reckon it's a good possibility of one of those or just a regular piloted one. Of course, if it's under 1,000 feet, you probably wouldn't need to get permission. So that one's solved. It's definitely a blimp of some kind.
And at this moment, we're not indicating or getting any information that there is any kind of event.
It's funny how he does that. we're not getting any indication. Funny Blake, you're a funny boy. Is he having an orgasm over it? So let's move on.
It's very strange indeed the way it just that showcased itself over this neighborhood. So this is a question. We've got a lot of videos for you. So let's.
Was that the same blimp? Or was it another one?
Out of Hong Kong. Watch this.
Oh, that's the same one. Okay, we're into Hong Kong now. Okay, what are we watching? There's a bird. Alright, some little specks of light. Let's zoom in. Bird flying across again. So what does that look like? It looks like illumination flares being dropped, doesn't it? Mountain range. Somewhere over a mountain range is normally where they do military exercises. Sort of blinking like it's some sort of flares, but it also could be, since it's Chinese New Year, that they're releasing sky lanterns, but these might be the LED versions, which are like big bright white round balloons, LED balloons that you use for weddings. I reckon they might be LED balloons, those ones more likely. Can't see them sort of coming down, but are they getting closer at all? And of course you can't keep it still. Alright, one's gone out. Okay, it looks like it's definitely getting lower there, doesn't it? Slowly with parachute flares normally do that. They take ages to come down. And illumination flares we know take up to 5 minutes, so if they film it longer than 5 minutes and they're all still there, we already got one that's gone out. And we got the guy in the background saying it's not planes. No, it's not planes. But it looks like it's going down further all the time.
This video was shot on the way up to the big mountains over there in China, Hong Kong, and as he was going up the tram,
there's definitely four there.
To capture these formation of lights that remain stationary. We're looking at this a little closer, and I want to get your guys' thoughts. Is this one craft hanging up in the sky, the infamous TR-3B? Could it even be a reflection?
Well, if it's a TR-3B, it's got four lights on it. What an idiot.
Caught the eyewitness's attention, and from what I hear from the eyewitness, his footage is genuine. He's not wanting to try to trick us, in my opinion. He's trying to film something.
No, they're not trying to trick us. It sounds like they're interested by what they're saying in the background. Okay, those ones got to be illumination flares from military drop. So what else we got going on? You can see there's a lot of reflections, but it's not reflection. Because we zoomed right into it there. Okay, the next one. What's this one? Looks a bit strange.
Different areas, different regions, different locations, different cultures. We all want to know what's going on. Now, via this photograph, and when we first
photographs. We hate photographs because it's going to be faked.
At it, we were kind of scratching our head. This is almost...
Okay, so what was that big brightness over this side?
Too good to be true, but...
Yeah, so what's that there? Could be anything, couldn't it? I don't think it's the sun. Because why is it not a blue sky? So that looks like some sort of light source. And that looks like something that's reflecting off it. Okay, let's keep on going.
After a closer look, actually, we put some brightness contrast. We got really a good image. This was a high-res image, and we could see that, in my opinion, there's no manipulation. This is a legitimate photograph. You could see that there is a tree.
Yeah, but without a series of photographs, you know, lots of them together, it means nothing, doesn't it?
That's kind of obscuring the craft, this flying saucer, with some kind of energy that's coming from
flying saucer. Straight away, it's got to be a flying saucer.
Make out more and more this branch, this tree, giving size and dimension to this craft. This.
Okay, can we see a branch at all? Oh yeah, we can definitely see branches. It's outside, whatever it is. Couldn't be a street lamp, could it? Looks to me... I need a drink, but I'll finish up on that one anyway. So there's a branch coming up there, branch coming up here, and it looks to me like there's a round bit coming around here. It almost looks like a lampshade with the light inside. Again, where's it from? China? If so, that could be one of those Chinese lanterns hanging down on the tree there. And the other bright light looked like it was an outside street lamp or something like that. How they get that to be a UFO, I don't know. Because it's got a bright light and it's circular. It's nonsense, isn't it? Okay, anyway, just
22, maybe 30 feet.
Yeah, so it could be
giving size and
let's see, where's the faraway shot? So we know
this is
so let's see if we can work it out. So we got the branches coming up this way. We got some sort of street lamp or bright lamp over this way. A fairly big light though. So how's that work? Okay, that could be closer to us. So that could be a reflection in a window even. So this could be like a outside line going across here with Chinese lanterns hanging off it. And we've seen it through trees. But we can't see all the trees here. So what you can do, I'll just do a quick thing on the editor. And then we'll wrap up. I was going to show you that Google also have messed around with the hashes. But I can show that next time probably. Basically if you use hashtag for UFO and all sorts of things, they don't show up anymore, and I'll just show you that next time. But yeah, we'll finish off with this one here now. It's just too much to cover tonight again. It's always too much to do. Have we got the editor not open? Okay, let's see what our filter does. Because I don't like their filters. Go away. What's going on now? Open love. I got all sorts of crap coming up now. I don't want to open up with a PDF. Why would I open it up with a PDF? Go away. Stupid Windows. Okay, so let's see. Can we see anything there? Let's run it through some adjustments. Worked it. Even though it said it was clicking it. It didn't click it. Yeah, brightness is what they did, which is no good. You can see this light's looks like it's reflecting off a window. Definitely off a window, and that's outside with a lamp or some kind. Chinese lantern. Okay. RGB. Let's see what this does for us. Probably be able to see the reflections more than anything. Definitely looks like some reflections of glass. Fortunately, it's going to interfere with that big bright light there. That's probably why they did it. Yeah, it looks like a tree going up here, doesn't it? Looks like something else here. There's got to be a lamp. Let's see. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do much joy on that. Lamp, lamp, lamp. Chinese lamp. Okay, looks like the obvious one. Chinese lamp. Let's see what it comes up with. Bingo! Not this one. That looks like the right size. Okay, looking underneath them. Nope. One with the hole underneath. And there's some other round ones here. Can't see underneath it though. Oh, here we go. Hey, it looks like that, doesn't it? What do you reckon? It's got some thing for a hole at the bottom. Looks very much like that. Maybe it had a candle inside, but looked like it had like a light source. I think that's a close match. They're a joke. Thirdphase. Thirdphase. Aren't they? Putting up that garbage as UFOs. But anyway, I'm pretty sure we could find something very close to that, which has actually got the light in it. Let's see, street, regular light bulb. Let's see what we get for that one. Not those ones. This one here, light bulb one. Anyway, we're not going to get the right angle, I don't think, but we got one close, very close to it. It could have been a sky lantern going up, even one of these ones. And we were seeing underneath it. Let's try that lantern. Try lanterns. Still looks like it's like one of these though. That we've seen underneath. Hanging off a power line. Now there's the sky lantern with the hole, but they're the square ones, not the round ones. So it could be something like that, but it looked too white, so I reckon it's going to be one of these ones with a light on it. Like that. It's going to be one of those shapes. Getting closer. Got the thing going up the middle. Here we go. What have we got on that one? We got the bulb inside, but you can't see it rotated. This one's got candles on, I guess. Anyway, I don't want to waste any more time on that one. It's obviously some sort of Chinese lantern. So I'm going to wrap it up there. And I think that was all of it, was it? Let's have a look. And okay, what are we meant to be looking there? Dots in the sky. Again, it could be LED balloons. It could even be a reflection of a window here. UFOs, probably not, because they're not doing anything crazy. All right.
The speeds are just enormous. Absolutely, Brent. To take note that the Mauna Kea is approximately 14,000 feet in elevation. So when you're looking at this video, you can surmise the height of this craft. So it's 14,000 feet. This thing looks like it's at least another 30.
Oh, we're looking at something else, are we?
So we're looking at something that is, at least in my opinion, 70 to 80,000 feet in the sky, approaching the stratosphere. This is an incredible image, and again, we thank the people on the ground, up on the mountain. Off to you. Get this.
I don't see anything.
Take a close look at this craft that comes into the camera's imagery, and they managed to capture it. But let me tell you, this leaked information, maybe the world.
That looks like it's going to be a balloon with a jet with a contrail, isn't it? Is that what you're looking at there? Looks like a plane going across the sky, and it's being illuminated by the sun. That's all it was.
It's kind of unexplained. Brent, any thoughts?
No, it's not. The planes go up to 40,000 feet.
It's on this incredible imagery.
Big shout out to the person on the mountain.
Terrible editing job there, by the way. Anyway, done. That's it. We got up to all the videos. And I'll say good night, and hopefully we can have a look at more MUFON cases at some stage too. And I'll say good night, and have a good one. Stay safe on the roads, everyone. Of course, I've got a dinner thing tomorrow, so I won't be home for a few hours in the evening, so I won't be doing one tomorrow. There's always stuff to do. Yeah, I'll just end this early instead of doing the full end credit business. Good night, people.